What's going on, fellas? I'm Fetty here, and today I'm going to take you through a little gun bunch mini scheme. This is in the Panthers playbook. So if you're going to run this, what I'd recommend is make sure you have these two plays. We'll get into them, but before we do that, I just want to show you kind of what players you want for this scheme. Gun bunch obviously is really good year to year. It's just a good formation, but for this specifically, you want a good strong arm quarterback. So a guy like Derek Carr is perfect. Aaron Moon, if you can afford that new Vic. Someone with above 86 throw power is for Mutt is needed. For Regs, obviously there's higher throw power numbers, so anyone maybe above 8 or 90. Halfback, you want someone who can catch out of the backfield, as well as be kind of shifty. You don't want a guy like Marshawn Lynch. I would say you'd want a guy like LaShawn McCoy, Devonta Freeman, guys that can catch out of the backfield and make guys miss. Here you want your fastest player, so I subbed in Cordero Patterson. You want someone who's fast and has pretty decent route running. So personally, for salary cap, I use Brandon Cooks in this position because he's fast and he has decent enough route running. Your outside receiver, where 15 is, you want someone again the same as the other side, because if you are flipping from hash mark to hash mark, you want the single receiver to be fast. So a guy like that, you just kind of want the same type of player. Like if you could afford that team of the week, T.Y. Hilton, he's really good. Really anyone who's fast and has decent route running, like I said, as the single receiver. Tight end, you want basically just speed. I just use Evan Ingram because he's 86 speed. 86 speed's really good for a tight end. Creates a lot of mismatches, and he's a really good player, so I use him. And for this inside receiver, I would look at someone like Amari Cooper or someone with decent route running, maybe an Edelman, like that flashback Edelman, someone who's decently fast and has decent route running, because he's gonna be on a lot of corner routes, so good route running is needed for that. So the first play that you need in this scheme, if you're going to run it, is Z-spot and go, or a play like corner strike, where it has the C route and the table route to the halfback. And you're going to see, we'll come out in a cover 4 here, you're going to see if they run that infamous cover 4 on you, you're going to see that this C route gets open against it. And you just got to read it. If they play hard flats, obviously you need to not throw the running back, throw the Patterson. If they put cloud flats or purples, throw to Lynch. You basically just got to read that cornerback, or no, sorry, that flat route. And this is kind of the setup I do, and I just motion snap Crabtree on a delayed slant, and you see, just read. You're gonna see wide open to to Patterson. He gets down in front of the corner, because that C routes are really good against cover 4, especially if they're running that, bringing the safeties down, doing things like that. So let's say we'll show you that they do cloud flats. Again, put them on a slant, street cook, just to kind of clear out that area. As you can see, you have Lynch trying to make someone miss. That's like 5 or 6, 7 yards. Then your other options obviously are, if they're running hard flats, that corner route to Cooper. It's a little shallow, like a little short, but if you are like 10 yards away, you could even smart route it. But if they are in hard flats, you can do this. Read. We got hit with a block shed, but if you looked and saw Cooper, he was open. We'll just run it again because I don't want that to be something I leave off on. So again, there's the setup. Motion snap Crabtree on a delayed slant. Step up if it's contained. That was a little risky, but it does, if you have better pass lead, if you pass lead more down, kind of like 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock, you're going to have a better animation there. But he still got in front of the corner. Again, if they're in a Tampa 2, you just read that corner. Just do the same setup. Motion snap. Just read the corner. He's in a cloud. Dump it off to Lynch. That's 9 yards. Easy stuff. Now again, we'll put him in a Tampa 2, and if they're in hard flats, again, you'll have the C route. You're stressing that side of the field. They're gonna have to be forced to put a purple and a hard flat there just to cover that side of the field. So just that side of the field alone is super stressful for the team. And then you can see here, wide open. You can rack that. Someone with fast too can maybe beat out that safety. Against cover 2, I want to see. I haven't actually looked at this yet, but you might be able to hit Cook up the seam if they don't put a deep blue. Like if they don't put their linebacker in a deep blue, you might be able to do something like this. Deion Jones is a beast. So that's what it would look like if they did put him in a deep blue. But for this, say they don't. Say we'll just put him in a spy. Just say he's a user and they forget about him. Again, this is just for the purpose of the video, just showing you different, because sometimes they'll leave that middle of the field open. As you can see, wide open, especially if you get someone fast. Pass lead that inside in between the safeties, and that's always open. If they don't, if they don't put a deep blue, that's always going to be open. So that's cover 2. Cover 3. Again, this is the setup I like to do. You could leave that spot and go route, but I don't really like it that much. Again, so against cover 3, again, just read the flat route. So he's hanging back, dump it off to Lynch, trying to make someone miss. That was 10 yards there, first down. Say they're running hard flats. Again, it's the same thing. Make a read off the flat route. If he goes right down to Lynch, look corner. As you can see, wide open. That play's just money. It's going to be good every year too. It was good last year, corner strike. So it's just good every year. So that's just the first play. Now the second play you want to make sure you have is bunch trail. This play is really, really good. It actually has a 1-play touchdown potential against a cover 4, which is really surprising. We'll just see if they're in hard flats here. Make sure they're in hard flats, just because that's what everyone show blitz and hard flats. And then what I like to do for a cover 4 is do something like this. It's the same kind of setup, but I'll motion him to the other side, Crabtree, on a slant. And he's on an inside motion slant. And then this is where the 1-play touchdown can happen. Right there, if you get someone really fast, that's against a cover 4. So if someone's staying in cover 4 and they're not adjusting, they have to get out of that because you can cross man this safety there, but it's going to be tough like that if against a normal kind of player who's just going to be running cover 4 because they know it's good. They're going to get out of that real quick if you hit that with them 1 play. And then obviously against a cover 4 you have other options as well. You have this, if they do run hard flats, you have this corner route to Cooper. Then obviously this angle route's really good to Cook as well, like if it does a quick read. Just show you here, this route to Cooper gets open. You just wait a little bit, gets to the sideline, hope he makes a sideline catch. That's another thing, you want to make sure all your receivers have sideline catches as a trait, because you don't want them missing those. So again, if they run this again, a lot of people just run this like with either clouds or hards flats, so you just got to make that read. But obviously that route to Patterson can get wide open too if they give you enough time. And then obviously this route to Cook is he bumped into his own receiver there. That was bad. He bumped into his own receiver, but that angle route will get open in the middle of the field. It gets into a nice area, kind of right in behind the linebackers. It gets into a nice area. This play again against the cover 2, if they don't put a deep blue from their linebacker there, you're gonna be able to beat them with Patterson. I've done this a lot of times with Cooks. If they don't put a deep blue there, just pass lead it up the middle, get someone fast, 1-play touchdown every time. Like in a cover 2, you can't stop that unless you put a deep blue in the middle. Then it stops it. But then again, if they do that, then that's 1 less linebacker, so it's their user and maybe someone else, and it's the middle of the field's a little bit more open rather than having 3 people in the middle of the field, in the short, intermediate, middle of the field. So against a Tampa 2, that's kind of like your main read, is that deep post, and if they don't, dump it off to Cook or hit Crabtree on a motion slant. You can even put Lynch on like a little out route if you want, or a swing route. I think a swing route's even better. So that's kind of what you want to look for that. And then against the cover 3, I thought this would be a really good cover 3 beater if I did something like this, but for some reason it just doesn't work as well as I'd like. Like, you think that would work, but we'll just show you. I'm actually going to spy out Beasley because he's really good in practice mode. But I'll just show you, like, it doesn't get into a spot where you can throw it. Like if you see there, like, he can beat his man. Like, you got him there, you can beat his man, but it's just such a risky it's almost surprising that it beats the cover 4 better than it does the cover 3, but that is an option. But for cover 3, again, same type of thing. If they're running hard flats, look for Cooper. If they're running purples, I'd put Lynch on a swing route, pass to Lynch, or I would look for a Cook or a Crabtree. Sometimes you can get like 6 yards. Just depends what kind of defense your opponent is in. And then against man-to-man, this post route, like, we're just in a cover 2 man. This post route's going to be good against cover 2 man because it's like cover 2 but man version, obviously, so you have that option as well. As you can see, off the hop, beats him wide open. So that's just 2 plays you want to make sure you have. And then you also want to mix in the run. So in gun bunch, you want to, the audible is halfback base, which I don't really like. So if I know I'm going to run, I come out and read option because it's like an inside zone and just always hand it off. And then obviously you have verticals too, which is a very good play against cover 2. And this play cross is audible as well, and this play actually is very, very good too. If someone's running hard flats, the route to Crabtree can get open very easily. You can even motion snap them too, have lots of motion. As you can see, wide open. I'd pass lead that down. I pass leaded that sideways. I pass lead that down just because that safety looked like he was creeping up a bit. So that was against a cover 4. Cover 4 cloud flats, I'd look more so drag just in case they have a good linebacker there or good corner or whatever they're going to run, because they might run a nickel. But even then, it sucks down. That was cloud flats, and even that sucks down. Then you just make someone miss. So this play is very good against cover 4, as well as in Tampa 2, it's more open, so in the middle of the field, like, you could almost throw to Cook too. I just want to make sure Deion Jones is in a spy, because I don't want him running with Cook here. And Cook ran a really, like, he got bumped off the line, but in a game, look for Cook down the middle on a cover 2. But also, if they're in a cover, just a, kind of a basic cover 2, you can look for Cooper, or even yeah, he gets in a weird spot, and that was a terrible throw. And am I in cover 2 man? Oh, maybe he's run. Oh, Beasley runs with Crabtree in a vertical hook. Okay, that makes sense. So in a cover 2, I would just look for Cooper on a drag. Look here. Pass lead it a little bit, and then try to make someone miss. So against a cover 2, you know, this play still has openings. I mean, that they might not keep that vertical hook in a Tampa 2. They might do something else with it, and then that crossing route becomes open. And then we'll show you against a cover 3. It's going to be kind of similar to a cover 4. They're going to be in purples here, so you just got to, again, make a read. I forgot to motion snap them. You don't have to, but it is an option. But that drag is always going to be there if they run cover 3 with purples. Now, if they run cover 3 with hard flats, again, Crabtree's going to get open. So it's really just a good kind of play you want to attack with this crossing route. Again, pass, lead it down. Try to make someone miss. So that's just a good like little mini scheme that you can run, or even not even a mini scheme, a full scheme. This is something that I'm running too, because Panthers playbook to me is just has a lot of good options. But you don't have to run Panthers playbook if you have a bunch in your playbook, because a lot of playbooks have a bunch. If you have a bunch that has a play like Z spot and go or corner strike works too, and it has bunch trail, then you're set, because that cross play you don't need to have. I like it for me, but you don't need to have it. Those two plays with bunch trail and Z spot and go, if you can get your reads down and your timings down, you're going to win a lot of football games. You're going to be tough to stop on offense. And yeah, so if you enjoyed the video, guys, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe would be appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next one.